Today's podcast is brought to you by Body Armor. DrinkBodyArmor.com. Only you can be better.
You're listening to EPPN's Today with DW.
Hello, I'm Baker Mayfield.
I'm Anthony Rizzo.
I'm Donovan Mitchell.
I'm Diana Taurasi.
I'm Ryan Blaney.
And I have something to confess.
I had a formidable Beanie Baby collection.
I used to say YOLO a lot.
I paid a lot of money for ringtones.
I had a sick flowing mullet one time.
My Cabbage Patch Kid's name was Dolores.
I used to rock bleached tips.
I used to rank my friends on MySpace.
I rented movies at Blockbuster.
I used to wear jorts. That's right, jean shorts.
I used to drink Gatorade.
Yeah, I used to drink Gatorade.
We all used to drink it.
It was the only sports drink out there.
Now there's Body Armor.
I drink Body Armor now.
I drink Body Armor now.
I'm Team Body Armor now.
Welcome, everybody, to the Thursday night edition of Today with DW. What is going on, everyone? Sorry, I missed Hump Day. I can't really say much about my internet service that's up here, but anyway, it is Thursday and I am back. Maybe we will have a full week of shows. A lot of stuff out of my control. Welcome, Mr. Brian Delaney. How are you, Mr. Newsman? Timmy, what's going on? Super Bowl Sunday's coming, Tim. I'm just saying. Am I going to see you there? You're going to stay at home? You're going to be watching the game? I'll be expecting text messages from you, Timmy. Tim is a longtime listener, good friend. We got a gentleman's bet going on and who's going to win. I believe Tim has taken Kansas City. And hello to you again, Mr. Brian Delaney. Everything going good at WCKM, I'm sure. But it is Thursday, and I won't get onto a rant about my internet service and the situations that have been going on the last couple of weeks. Again, I apologize for that because I know a lot of you guys are out there making sure that you want to watch the shows every Tuesday through Friday from 6:30 to 7:30, 8 o'clock. It is what it is. As much as Hank heard me ranting and chiming in last night because I was telling him all the situations. But if you don't know who Hank is, well, it's Snacks, my co-host in the Sports Edition with Mr. Tom Greer from Groundhouse Radio every Tuesday night, 6:30 to 8 o'clock. Awesome, Brian. Great to hear that everything is going well. We got to talk. We need to talk about that podcast you were talking about pre-COVID. We definitely should talk about that soon. If you're still interested, would love to have you in the studio or even remotely now that we have everything set up here through StreamYard and whatnot. But it is Thursday. What do you guys got going on for the weekend? I always like to ask if you guys are listening to the audio version of this. I am chatting with our fans and listeners who come in during the live feed. If you want to be part of the live feed, go over to Today with DW show Facebook page. Give us a like. As the YouTubers say, smash that like button and get notifications and join in the conversation. We love having you guys join in on the conversation. Love to have. Great, Brian. That's awesome. Look forward to talking with you and Cub. So yeah, like I said, please join in. The more the merrier. You guys got topics you want me to talk about or anything that in the today's news or current events. If you're not familiar with the show, we're kind of like the nighttime version of a morning drive time radio. So we do have some guests coming in here and there, but we talk about today's topics, funny stuff, strange tales, the more you know, the junk drawer, which is a fan favorite, Food Town, which is new. Thank you to my friend Rob Doe, helping me a couple episodes ago, coming up with the name for that segment. Was Food Files. Sounded too clinical, I guess, but Food Town. I think travel into Food Town and it's a quick little walk around the corner to the left. You pass a guy named Hank in a poncho and you were in Food Town. So we were always trying to do some new segments and whatnot. And again, thank you to Rob for pitching in. I think Rob and I might be collaborating with me, or at least giving me some topics. We were talking off pod about a lot of the eclectic foods between Boston, New York City, and just certain areas that, I'm jonesing to be back in New York City. I haven't been in New York City. Well, let's see, 2 years. It's like my home away from home. And, I have friends in Queens, friends in Manhattan. I miss it. I love it. I love the food. I love the. I mean, if you haven't seen any of my past posts on on Instagram and Facebook on my personal page, I love just food town. Yes, Mr. Rob. Yes. I love street meat. I love trying out all the different food trucks and carts. And Rob and I have been talking, and there's going to be a long segment. We're really going to focus on some boroughs in New York City, and mainly Queens, talk about Chinatown, part of the food town segment, I think, and that's great. And I won't get too much into what Rob and I were talking about before, but Queens, you can pretty much eat around the world. From one end to the other, you could probably find everything from every part of the world. And we're definitely going to do a segment about that in the long run and down the road. But what I like to do, if you guys are friends with me over, and if you're not, why aren't you friends over on my Today with the DW Show podcast page? You definitely should be. You get insights of what the show is going to be in the morning that night. So I'll put out national holidays, some funny little tidbits about what's going on. Like today, I put out the 10 most popular whiskeys. 10 bartenders pick their most popular whiskeys, some that you may not heard of. I felt I should put that out in the post, kind of got to wet your whistle, no pun intended, on what we do on our show. That article won't be processed on the segment itself, but it just gives you a little idea what we do with our segments. So definitely give us a like over Today with the DW Show podcast page. I think you guys will enjoy it. It's always fun. And like I said, I love interacting with you all. So we also do a couple times a week, I do a segment called Today's Asking for a Friend. Now, if you haven't heard that before, it's pretty much, you know what it is. We're sitting amongst friends, people, hey, I got to ask you something, but it's for a friend. Now, 9 times out of 10, it's you. It's not your friend. You're asking for a friend, air quotes. But I thought, that's nobody else is doing something like that. So I figured, you know what? Let's do it. I think it's fun to interact with our fans and listeners and you out there. So and this is something that was this question, I am asking for myself, even though it's asking for a friend. How late is too late to snow blow your driveway? Why I ask this? Because it is an ongoing debate. It is something out there that is a debate, and it's based on your neighborhood. Now, we had a few people chime in. A fan, Melissa, says, do it when you need to or want to. My friend Mikey says, I'm a snow removal should be done whenever the homeowner needs to clear. Depends on personal schedule. Some people need to leave early or late. So in short, I say personal reasons dictate no time. Good friend Johnny Ray from Hits 95.9 says, for us to hit the road at 4 a.m., how early is too early? Now, okay, Brian Delaney says 9 p.m. is probably when you should stop. This is something that was a big, huge debate back in the day when I was a kid with my parents. We haven't gotten the snowstorms that we have gotten in the 70s and 80s. I am in upstate New York, so we would get hit with, we got 3 feet of snow a few weeks ago. Guys, that's nothing. That 3 feet of snow and one snowfall is nothing compared to what we used to get back in the 70s and 80s. So, but it became an ongoing debate of, people are snow blowing at 11 o'clock at night and neighbors are coming out of their house going, hey, I'm trying to sleep. Turn it off. Now, some towns do have sound ordinances. I don't know how that regulates as far as snow blowing is concerned. But it's out of a respect type of thing. Again, now, as obviously times have changed through the 70s and 80s and 90s, where everybody's working weird schedules. Johnny Ray, he brought up a good point. I said, how late? Johnny Ray's got to be out the door by 4. So for him, is 3 a.m. too early in the morning to snowblow? I mean, he might still stay in snowblow at 9 o'clock at night, but who knows if it's snowing overnight, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 6 hours later. That's going to make a huge difference. I was brought up, it was out of respect. It was 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at the bare latest that you should do that out of respect for your neighbors. Again, yes. Rob says, I think it's based on snowfall. Do it when it needs to be done. Okay. I can't disagree with you. I think most times I would shovel the end of the driveway, but not snow blow the driveway, just to kind of clear, because we all know how the snowplows just love to I swear they know when a driveway is freshly cleaned, and then 5 minutes later they come by and bury you back into your driveway. I'm sure they don't do that on purpose, but I'm just saying, I think it definitely, it seems like that. But that is today's Asking for a Friend. If you're listening to the audio version of this, hit us up in the comments of the show post. Hit me up through my DMs, or you can message me at earplugpodcast@gmail.com. And I'd love to hear your comments. I think it's old school. Again, Brian and I are roughly the same age, so I think we were brought up the same way, 9, 10 o'clock max. Just, you know what? It's the same thing. I guess, this might be another question. How early is it too early to start mowing your lawn? I have neighbors that start mowing their lawn at 6 a.m. I understand work schedule. I mean, for me, I'm the exception of the rule because I'm up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. But 6 a.m.? 6, really? Do you really? I mean, it's not like it's going to grow 2 feet in an hour. And I understand work schedules, but really 6 a.m.? I don't know. But you put that in your comments too. Tell me what you think about that too. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I like New York City. I don't think I'd have to mow my lawn or hear anybody else, but I'd probably hear garbage trucks and whatnot all hours of the night. And that, for me personally, does not bother me. The snow plows don't bother me. The snow blowing doesn't bother me. The more noise I have overnight, it's better for me. If I had this, I couldn't sleep. I need noise. It's the ADD in me. But anyway, let's get into today's show, shall we? We're going to travel a little bit. Like I said, take a short left-hand turn past a guy named Hank, and we're going to hit Food Town because McDonald's has your birthday cake. Monkeys aren't milk fans. Did you know that? Maybe she should have taken care of herself a little bit better before looking at a pic. And maybe you shouldn't party across from a Nazi in Strange Tales. The more you know and more. So don't go anywhere, guys. Grab a drink, grab your dish, whatever you're eating, and we'll be right back.
Calling it a day, Carrie?
Oh no, there's more.
Like what?
More reps, more steps. More this, more that. More time to breathe. More hustle, more grind.
There's more to carry underwear.
And I should wrap by midnight.
Impressive.
And there's more to Body Armor Light with natural sweeteners, no sugar added, and only 20 calories.
Welcome, everybody, to the Thursday night edition of Today with DW. If you're just joining me, I hope you guys are having a great week. We're one more day, and it's the weekend. Come on. What are you guys going to do for the weekend? I want to know. Put it in the comments during the live show. Let me know what you guys are planning for the weekend. Are you staying? I think asking for a friend would be, are you staying home this year? Yeah, but is Delaney still awake? Shockingly, yes, he is. Are you going to, like I said, this question for asking for a friend, are you going to stay home for the Super Bowl, or are you going to go to your local sports bar, and hang out with some friends? I think that's another question. I think that's something to be, that's a good question. I'd like to know what you guys are thinking. Are you going to have home parties? Less than 10 if you're in New York State. Wink, wink. Or are you going to try to go out and watch at least the first half out? I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. Who knows? I will be watching the game. Ask us. Tell us too. Who are you taking? You taking Brady or Mahomes? Let me know in the comments below, and we'll get right into today's show. So we always start with today's. Geez, I'm having tongue-tied moments already. We always start every show off with a little bit of the more you know, and let's get that in there. There you go. Today's The More You Know is brought to you by the Shirt Factory up here in upstate New York, Glens Falls. They are putting on a great 2021 Winter Meltdown Spicy Food Day. If you're not familiar with what they do during the summer, Thursday nights, starting in May, one of the biggest food truck corrals in upstate New York. So many awesome food trucks, so many amazing foods. Every Thursday, well, they're now going to turn it into the Winter Meltdown Spicy Food Day, and it's going to be inside the Shirt Factory. It's going to be March 20th. starting at 10 a.m. Now the price is free. Now there's going to be a lot of food trucks in there, food vendors in there. Everything's going to be social distancing. They are meeting the protocols for COVID. You do not have to worry about them not meeting protocols. Wet mask being worn. Everything's going to be 6 feet apart. There's going to be tables, whatnot. But what better to enjoy spicy food in March? Come on. I'm going to be there. We may even be podcasting from there. I'm not really sure yet. Snacks night, have to talk about that. We have to talk with the owner. But I think I want to do that. I think that would be a great way to do a special edition of Winging It with DW, which we haven't done since pre-COVID. Even a little bit before pre-COVID. Usually we shut down a little bit for Winging It with DW in the winter. But how great would that be? Maybe we'll get Tom up here. We'll do a video segment. We'll do some live stuff. Talk with the vendors. If you're upstate New York, even if you're in Saratoga, Albany area, it's worth the drive. If you need more information, go over to shirtfactorygf.com. And they're willing, if you need contact information or contact them, they're very helpful. They'll get right back to you. So let's get into today's The More You Know. 10 days until Valentine's Day. You guys get your shit together? Yes, I said you guys. I don't mean women. I mean you guys. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, Rachel says, Kansas City. My dad will kick my ass. Okay, then. Well, there you go. No, you didn't get sports yet. No, today's not the sports edition. Oh, that's cool. Rob says, I'll be at a restaurant that has a bunch of isolated cabins. Oh, that's cool. Is that like the indoor version of the igloos that we have up here? Many of the local restaurants are doing igloos outside right now. Hit me up in there and we'll get back to that after today's The More You Know. Like I said, 10 days until Valentine's Day. Guys, come on. Don't wait. 11 days until Singles Awareness Day. So for all the single people out there, there is a day just for you. 12 days until Mardi Gras. 45 days until St. Patrick's Day. 48 days until spring. I cannot wait. And lastly, 120 days until Memorial Day. Today's national holidays, very important one, World Cancer Day. I understand, I always say, there shouldn't be just this, things like this shouldn't be one day. Not to say that it's not important to have a day to really focus on that. Cancer definitely has been, something big, especially throughout the last few years. Sooner or later, it seems cancer has an impact on all of us, myself included. Now, if you know me personally, you know what I went through a few years ago. Maybe I'll talk about that in a later episode. That's why World Cancer Day on February 4th is an important day to raise awareness about prevention, detection, and treatment. Started by the Union for International Cancer Control in 2008, World Cancer Day activities seek to significantly reduce illness and death caused by cancer by 2020. So they've been working on this pretty much. Welcome, Al. What's going on? Today is National Hemp Day. No, it's not marijuana. It's hemp. Did you know hemp has been a part of human civilization for thousands of years, longer than most of us know? The world's earliest civilizations used hemp fiber to make fabric from clothing and other elements. And did you know that hemp makes a stronger rope than nylon and your other fabrics? It's a real strong rope. Even American founding fathers drafted early documents on hemp paper. During the last century, leaders used a hemp for victory campaign during World War II to encourage farmers to grow hemp for military use. Since then, hemp has been essential material in the innovation of several industries. For example, shipping, construction, and textiles rely on hemp for numerous products. The construction industry started using hemp in place of concrete, known as hempcrete, since it's windproof and offers a lower carbon footprint. Look at that. It's green. Look at that. I'm doing well. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Al. Today is also National Homemade Soup Day. So this is one of the things. If you're familiar with me on my Instagram page, follow me at @HerbCloutier/DW, or if you're friends with me on Facebook, I'm one of those guys that put out my food. Everybody's like, oh, really? I got to see what you eat for dinner. Well, a lot of people do like to see what I eat for dinner because they're kind of surprised that I'm actually a decent cook. This is one thing that I've never been able to do is make a good soup. Let me know what is your favorite soup that you like or the favorite soup that you can cook that you love. I really would love to make a mean minestrone. I love minestrone soup. I mean, I love many other soups, but minestrone is my favorite. And I would say chicken noodle, but minestrone, I really want to try to perfect that, and I have yet to do that. Before the era of modern transportation, soup is a product of originally available foods. For this reason, there are thousands and thousands of soup recipes available today. Many soups also offer medicinal properties. Jesus. What was once considered a wives' tale, chicken soup now has the backing of the scientific community. Yes, chicken soup does help relieve the symptoms of a common cold. How? Well, scientists believe that a bowl of the soup may reduce inflammation of the lungs. It's thought that chicken soup slows down the activity of white blood cells that can cause inflammation. But that's not all homemade soup does. Every cook knows the most important ingredient that goes into every pot of simmering soup. They keep the ingredient stored where it is. It will do its best work too. As they work, they season the soup with their heart giving it just the right amount of love each and every time. Whether they add in with noodles or vegetable, the broth or the cream, each cook knows there's enough to go around. That's why homemade soup heals the best. Rachel says, seafood chowder is my specialty. Does that? Yes, chowder. I mean, clam chowder is a soup. I love New England clam chowder. I would consider. Well, all right. I guess maybe maybe a 60 seconds with it. Is clam chowder considered a soup? Just like is hot dog a sandwich? Don't shout out in the comments. That's a whole different podcast. That's 60 seconds with, because that's an ongoing debate. But I would consider that myself. As a foodie, as a self-proclaimed foodie, I would consider clam chowder as a soup. And most restaurants do, because it is considered the soup of the day. Lastly, it is National Thank a Mail Carrier Day. You know what? Let's turn this down a little bit, because I have something serious to talk about. Well, let's turn this down just a bit. This past year, I know I've complained. Amazon Prime, 2 to 4 day shipping. Now it's 2 to 3 weeks. And obviously, you're gonna yell at your mail carrier, your postman, and obviously it's not necessarily their fault. But this past year had to be real rough for postal workers. So many people shopping online, not going out to stores where places were closed, making sure that they were staying indoors and self-quarantining or whatnot. And I think this year our postal workers have worked so much more than any years past. So definitely, take care of your postal worker. My grandparents used to give a small present and a Christmas card to their post office, to their mailman or /woman now. And I think that makes a big deal. I think I think they are forgotten about. I know a lot of people take care of their garbage men. Another industry where people seem to forget about. I mean, these guys are working a lot of hours. My grandparents used to, do the same thing. Give a gift during Christmas time to our garbage man. So it's definitely something important to think about. And the next time, just say hi. I have an awesome one. Her name's Nancy. I don't know if many of you know your mailman or mailwoman's name. Nancy's awesome. During the summer, I'll leave my door out. I'll leave my door open upstairs, and she'll open up the door. My mailbox is inside the staircase, and Gus will come running down, and she'll chit chat with Gus, and they'll pet and have a good time and visit. That means something. It really does. I mean, they're people too, National Thank a Mail Carrier Day, also known as Thank a Mailman Day, on February 4th, reminds us that someone makes sure the mail gets through 6 days a week, 52 weeks a year. The day is a timely note of just how important mail carriers are to our lives. As I was saying, take time out of your day to thank that mail person who is responsible for delivering our mail to us. A good side note here, the Pony Express riders earned a famous reputation in their short existence. Their motto was neither rain or snow nor death of night can keep us from our duty. And that's pretty much the U.S. postal systems. I mean, I don't think they do the nor death, but rain or snow. The motto is believed to be taken in part from a motto dating back to ancient times. The most popular variation of this motto is through rain or snow or sleet or hail, we'll carry the mail. We will not fail. So remember that the next time. Remember, it's maybe Amazon's fault, not your postal workers' fault for having your packages show up late. Let's see, what do we got here? Today in history, 1908. Star number 46 was added to the U.S. flag for Oklahoma with the addition to the Union of Oklahoma on November 16th, 1907. 1922, WGY-AM, right close to home in Schenectady, New York, begins radio transmissions. Another close to home, 1932, Winter Olympics 3 opened in Lake Placid. And again, also they were here again in 1980, which was a really great Winter Olympics. 1973 comic strip Hagar the Horrible by Dick Brown debuts and ran until 1988. I'm sure most of our listeners, maybe younger than me, don't remember Hagar the Horrible, but I used to love that comic strip on Sundays. What was your favorite comic strip that may no longer be around anymore? Let me know in the comments. 1991 Baseball's Hall of Fame Board of Directors vote 12-0 to bar Pete Rose due to his betting on games while he was a player and manager. I think they reinstated him too. I could be wrong on that, but didn't they stop that? I'm not really sure. That's a Snacks or Tom Greer question for the sports edition. And lastly, 1991, Alex Trebek becomes first person to host 3 American game shows at the same time. Jeopardy, Classic Concentration, and Tell the Truth. And that is today's The More You Know, brought to you by The Shirt Factory. Visit them at theshirtfactorygf.com for more information. They have a lot of great eclectic stores and awesome things going on there all the time. Small events, awesome. Getting back to our question, yes, Al, God rest his soul, friend James Rhodes, who just recently passed away, could never make soup. I love making bolognese and minestrone as well. Well, maybe you can get me give me a recipe for minestrone. I just cannot perfect it. I don't know why. As Al also says, yes, without a doubt, God, good on them. Harder job than people think. This is for sure. No, not yet for Rose. Sad. Well, I don't think it's going to make. I don't know if he'll make it. If he hasn't made it now, I don't think he'll make it. If you're just joining us, it is EPPN's Today with DW. It is the Thursday edition. If you listen to the intro, I got to give props out to our voice. I was the voice of Today with DW. I'm no longer the voice. I have dropped the mic, you might say, or passed the mic to a friend now friend Dan Hurst, voice actor Dan Hurst. If you're not familiar with him, you know his voice. When I told a few friends, Snacks, Sean, Tom, they're like, oh, we know that voice. He's in many commercials, a lot of UK stuff. There's one that I really like. I did the research. He actually reached out to me on LinkedIn, asked me if I needed any help. We went through back and forth, and he has done all the voices. I do the production with the music and whatever for our segments, the intro, the sports edition, Strange Tales, and we're going to be doing some more. We'll probably do some Food Town. We're going to do a bunch of stuff. I'm going to be working with him. And by the way, he's part of the Marvel U. As I'm whispering, but he is part of the Marvel U. Watch WandaVision episode 3 on Disney Plus. Just saying. But again, Dan Hurst, thank you so much for what you do. And again, I think let me know what you think about the new intros, as it is 2021. So we're trying to change things up a little bit. So getting right into that, why don't we get into one of some of the people's favorite segments, Strange Tales.
Now, EPPN presents Today with DW's Strange Tales.
Airline apologizes to woman after she was told to cover up her inappropriate outfit. Isabella Eleanor from Australia said she was humiliated after being told by cabin crew, I sound a little too loud there, by cabin crew, her black crop top was not suitable for flying. Now, before I go any further in this, we put out a question before, and this might have been one of our asking for the friends. Let me know if the background music's a little too loud. It seems a little loud. We're changing our settings, but let me know. We talked about asking for a friend. Is it inappropriate for a woman to mow their lawn in a tube top? Now, we got a lot of positive responses from this. Nothing negative. And some of the comments were, if you don't like it, then don't look. So again, this is kind of, we're in a new age, and I can understand about inappropriate clothing. But I don't think I've ever seen, thanks. I don't think I've ever seen a dress code for an airline. The OnlyFans model, here we go. The OnlyFans model said Jetstar staff ordered her to cover up, allegedly saying you can't wear a bikini. Now, is a bikini a tube top? Yes, I think bikinis could be considered a tube top. Let me know if that works a little better, Al. Isabella was then handed a high-res vest to wear. So she was given a vest like city workers wear. The orange, the bright yellow reflective vest to wear in her seat. So that it would cover up her black top, which she said made her feel degraded and embarrassed in front of her fellow passengers. Sharing her story to Instagram followers, Isabella said, so they made a huge scene when I stepped on the plane and made me wait in the front of everyone while they searched for something to cover me up. Then I had to walk all the way to my seat wearing this vest. This is discrimination and humiliation, Jetstar Australia, she mounts. She also says, apparently my top is too small and I couldn't fly without covering up. She also states, if I had small breasts, I guarantee you they would not have said anything. Now, if you see the pictures, which have gone on viral on Instagram and through multiple media sites, it wasn't, I didn't, of course, now because I'm a man, I'm not going to think, thanks, Hank, that it's because I'm a man and I don't think it's inappropriate. Well, I do have standards myself, but I really saw the pictures. She was wearing jeans. She had a tube top, and it was not a midriff, but it was a tube top. I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was inappropriate. I mean, but again, I may get different thoughts if it's coming from a woman. And she, as I said, she said, if I had small breasts, I guarantee they wouldn't have said anything. He forced me to put on the high-res vest. I'm lost. Is it 1921 or not 2021? Speaking to 9 News about the incident, Isabel who was traveling with her husband, Jeremy, said she felt as she was being victimized. She told the channel she looked at the ticket and then looked up and said, "Oh, do you have a jumper you can wear?" That's what they said to her. And then here's me thinking she must be concerned I'm going to get cold on the flight if it's going to be cold in Melbourne or something. She kept going and she was like, "Well, we can't fly with you wearing that. You can't wear a bikini." And I'm like, "Look, it's not a bikini. It's a top." Jetstar, which is owned by Qantas, has since apologized to Isabella for the misunderstanding over this situation and stated that the airline has no policies on crop tops. Well, there you go. In a statement, the firm told The Mirror, which is another outlet, we've contacted Isabel about her recent experience and have apologized for the way the solution was handled. There was a misunderstanding what our policy was, and we have reminded our crew of our dress requirements. While we do have basic dress requirements on our flights, for example, shoes, we don't have any policy regarding crop tops. You want to bet that they do now? The airline's website does set out other minimum dress requirements passengers must adhere to. Its website reads, "Please refrain from wearing any clothing or carrying personal items that display words, images, symbols, or slogans that may be reasonably be deemed offensive. A t-shirt with slurs or swear words on it. Where this occurs, our crew will take you to cover up the offensive material." I don't know. I think people are just I think we've become a little too PC at this point. Let me know how the sound effects are right now. Also, California man arrested after live stream shows 2 bodies. Now, we've seen this, and I think I even reported on this a couple weeks ago. People seem to love live streamings. There was a live streaming of a shooting, 2 guys in a pickup truck shooting at passing by. This is Strange Tales / idiot people. Do you not think if you're posting it on social media, you're not going to get caught? But anyway, police in California arrested a man suspected of 2 killings after someone reported seeing a live stream on social media that showed him with a gun and 2 women lying motionless on the floor of an apartment. The Vacaville Police Department said officers went to an apartment complex for formerly homeless veterans and low-income families early Saturday after getting a call from a woman about the live stream. The video showed the man carrying a gun, and 2 women lying on the floor, not moving. Officer found the man had barricaded himself in the apartment, and a SWAT team and negotiators were called in, as police stated. Negotiations didn't work, so the building was evacuated, and police officers got inside the apartment with distraction devices and chemical agents. What are the distraction devices? It's awful kind of weird. Let me know in the comments. Well, what the hell is a distraction device? There was a brief struggle, and a taser was used before the police took the man down into custody. So he definitely hit the floor. Officer additionally found 2 women deceased inside the apartment. The department said in the post, how they died is under investigation, and their identities aren't being released until the families are notified of their deaths. Raymond Michael Weber, 29 of Sacramento, who was being held without bail on 2 counts of first-degree murder and was scheduled for a court appearance on Tuesday. So, all right, let's go back. The man's holding the gun. Well, let's play this through. Is this like we should do Law and Order here? We could do this. Let's break this down a little bit. So he has a gun. There's 2 dead bodies. Obviously, he's definitely a suspect and very suspicious. But then when officers say they found the 2 deceased women inside, how they died is still under investigation. The man had a gun. Obviously, yes, maybe he didn't shoot them. There was no issue of, again, looks like there was no conversation, or he wasn't talking on the live stream, so there wasn't, and again, why would he live stream it? But again, things aren't, we'll get back to this. Hopefully I'll get an update on this and we'll tell you more, but something's fishy here. Man versus K9. Gotta love Florida, man. Man fought with Escondido County deputies and K9 Zeke while resisting arrest Thursday afternoon for an attempted home burglary. Eric Tyler, 25, is charged with attempted carjacking, attempted burglary, 3 counts of battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting arrest with violence, and battery on a police K9 unit. Holy shit, this guy's just racking it in. He go big or go home. The incident happened around 1:30 p.m. According to the report, a caller claimed Mathis was walking in and out of traffic and tried to grab his steering wheel. Upon arrival to the area, the caller, who was returning home after driving off from Mavis, told deputies Mathis, was now on his porch trying to break into his house with his daughter inside. Can we say meth? The report states deputies saw Mathis hiding behind a blue tarp on the property. Mathis told deputies it was his home and yelled at the deputies to leave. Didn't we just report on this? The guy going into somebody else's house and cooking and burning tortillas, and that's how they found him. And he broke into somebody else's house as he was trying to steal shit. 2 deputies, after complying to deputies' orders, Mathis made an aggressive move toward deputies, so they took him to the ground. The report states he continued to resist arrest and fight with deputies. 2 deputies then struck Mathis in the head and face, knocking him unconscious, according to the report. But Mathis quickly regained consciousness like Mortal Kombat. He got up, he went down hard, and he came right back up. Conscious before how deputies could place him in handcuffs. He started to resist arrest and fight off deputies again. So deputies struck him in the head again, knocking him unconscious for the second time. The report states deputies could still not get Mathis in handcuffs before he regained consciousness again. This guy, it's definitely meth or crack. He began resisting arrest again, so deputies tasered him on his back, but it proved ineffective. Holy crap, what is this guy on? It's the night of the living dead here. Deputies then deployed K9 Zeke to the rescue. According to the report, while Zeke was holding Mathis down, Mathis grabbed Zeke around the neck. Deputies were finally able to put Mathis in handcuffs and place him under arrest. He's being held at Escondido County Jail on a $130,000 bond. The sheriff's office does say Zeke is uninjured and doing fine and filing well and doing very well, and went to duty the following day. But what is this guy on? I want to know what this guy is on. You got wow. Have you ever had this problem of what do I want to say this? Mistaken identities? But have you ever mistaken yourself by saying that's not me in a photo? Well, guess what? Wife accused of stabbing husband after finding photos of him having sex with another woman, but to find out it was her. I don't make this shit up. Oh, this is why it's strange tales. A woman in Mexico was so blinded by jealousy that she couldn't recognize her own naked body after resorting to violence, authorities said. The angry wife is accused of stabbing her husband after finding photos of him having sex with a much younger and slimmer woman. Slim fast? Don't eat any ding-dongs? I don't know. What she failed to realize was the purported mistress was herself photographed a few years ago. The suspect, identified only as Lorena R., saw the explicit images on the victim's cell phone earlier this month and decided to attack him with a kitchen knife at their home, a home in Mexico. She reportedly grabbed the weapon, stabbed him multiple times without giving him a chance to explain himself, according to the newspaper. The poor husband, who sustained several injuries but survived, was eventually able to disarm his violent wife and calm her down, authorities said. He then explained to her that the photos were from them having sex when they were still boyfriend and girlfriend. Juan then told Lenora that the woman she thought he had been cheating on was actually her when they just started dating. Again, he repeats this. His wife apparently did not recognize herself because she was much younger. It was a few years ago, thinner, and had makeup on. Oh, man. Wow. All right. Anyway, well, there's a lot of things I could say about that. Lenora took a close look at the photos and finally recognized herself, though it was too late because neighbors had heard the commotion and called 911. The woman was arrested and is now facing domestic violence charges. Holy crap. I need to take a breather in it. I don't think I've ever had an issue like that. I don't think I've heard of any friend. And wow. Anyway, that's crazy. Maybe next time you guys, and this next one, maybe next time you might want to think twice before having a particular party across from a Nazi. It's 2 days ago. District Court petition, Kendall McVeigh, 26, accuses Alexander Feasty of acting like reckless disregard in connection with the shooting last year outside Feaster's residence in the hometown of Hunter. McVeigh was at a party across from Feister's home last June when she crossed the street around 2:55 a.m. and grabbed one of the 2 swastika flags flying outside the residence. As McVeigh fled with the flag, Feaster, carrying an AR-15, let me repeat that, an AR-15 rifle, emerged from his home. Without warning, the 45-year-old Feaster fired at least 7 shots at McVeigh, who was struck several times in the lower abdomen and legs. Police found McVeigh in a ditch across from Feaster's property. McVeigh's gunshot injuries required multiple surgeries and several weeks of hospitalization. Her lawsuit is seeking an excess of $75,000 in damage for mental and physical pain, and just $75,000? I would ask for more. Feaster was arrested following the shooting, charged with assault and battery with a deadly weapon. A felony, obviously. Investigators alleged that Feaster, aware of the party across the street, was lying in wait for someone to try and steal his Nazi flags. The shooting was captured by Feaster's home security system, which cops say recorded him exiting the front door with a large AR platform rifle on a sling and at the ready. People in their home security cameras, they always don't seem to work out for the best for them, does it? During a search of Feaster's home, cops noticed that a chair was placed in the front of the residence facing the door. A large ashtray containing several cigarette butts was nearby, as was a pair of handcuffs. This guy is like an S&M and kind of freaky. It appeared that Mr. Feaster was anticipating an incident to take place and had been watching from that spot. Feaster, free on $75,000 bail. Ooh, he's got some money. Scheduled for March 7th. What is today's date? Yeah, March 7th preliminary hearing in the shooting case. He claims to have acted in self-defense while firing upon the fleeing flag thief, adding that he was in fear of imminent danger of death or great bodily harm. In court filings, Feaster, who spent 10 years in the military and was deployed in Afghanistan and Iraq, has portrayed himself as a patriotic citizen, a loyal American, whose political beliefs had subjected him to threats, harassment, and the frequent theft of his flags. In fact, Feaster has claimed that McVeigh is the real criminal and that he is actually a hate crime victim. The AR-15 Feaster contends is a precautionary weapon that he aimed at below McVeigh's center mass so that the full set would not prove fatal. Come on, really? Jesus Christ. And lastly, I don't know if this is stupid or smart. Cops enter a booby-trapped house. A northeastern Michigan man has been arrested after authorities say a booby trap was found in his home as police served a search warrant connected to a stolen credit card. So the guy knew he was going to get caught. So he's being proactive, right? I don't see any harm in that, right? Roger Broadstone, 67, was arraigned Monday on attempted murder, arson for preparing to burn a building down, placing an offensive substance with intent to injure and disarming an officer, resisting police, and other charges. Broadstone is accused of barricading himself inside his twinning area home and refusing to allow officers inside. State police say the officers wanted to speak with Broadstone about a $1,500 merchandise purchase online. Really? You're going to get arrested and booby-trapped for something for $1,500? You are stupid. Officers found the illegally purchased items inside the home. Broadstone also was arraigned on charges of using a computer to commit a crime and illegally using financial transactions device. He has been jailed. Guess what? I don't think he could have money since he's considering on stealing credit card for a lousy $1,500 worth of sales. And that is today's Strange Tales. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday. Listen, when I do this to give you guys a little bit of a behind the scenes look, again, let me know how the audio is, as we are always changing and making sure everything's good. And we're doing this on the fly. It's a little hard sometimes to change audio, even though we do some tests. But if you're listening to the audio version of this, please make comments. We always want to give you guys the best show possible. But it's funny. I'll give you guys a little bit of a background. I'll prep for the show the day of. I'll do it early in the morning. I get up. Wow. Hiccups. Excuse me. You know what? I think we'll take a little bit of body armor here. Hold on one second. This is great for audio, I'm sure. Body Armor, drinkbodyarmor.com. Visit the website for your nearest location near you. They got some great stuff. And also, by the way, they just put out a brand new sports drink, Body Armor Edge. Check it out. We're going to have some here. We're going to be doing a taste test review, and we'll let you guys know. We're going to be tasting some of the new flavors. It just came out yesterday. But anyway, so I get up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I go over to the Today with DW show podcast page. I put in, my national holidays, asking for a friend, some funny memes, just to get you guys ready for the day, to give you an idea what we're going to be talking about. And I'll spend 2, 3, sometimes 4 hours prepping for the show. I'll start at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, be done by 9, 9:30, 10 o'clock, whatever. And I go through articles. I go through multiple sites. I find interesting stuff that you guys might find that you won't hear in mainstream news, or it's just funny stuff like strange tales, just weird stuff that I think is interesting and should be entertaining for you guys. Reading the articles and going through and deciding which ones to pick. I mean, I'm laughing my ass off during I'm entertaining myself while doing the research for the show. So it's just funny to see what's going on in the world and the way our society is. But yeah, so, and if there's anything you guys ever find a topic through social media or whatnot, and you're like, oh, you know what? DW's got to have this on his show. I think he would be interested in this, whether it's a funny food topic or an interesting food item or whatever for our new Food Town segment. Hit me up. You DM me through my personal page. If we're not friends, but you are watching the show through Today with DW show podcast page, DM me through there, the Earplug Podcast Network Facebook page, or email me at earplugpodcast@gmail.com. I love it. I'll give you guys props. I'll give you guys credit for the article. If you guys find it, you're part of the news team. I mean, I think that would be great. And again, more the merrier. I'm more than happy to entertain if the article's good. I mean, if the article's not good, I can't put it up there. But yes, if you got anything interesting, please let me know, and we'll do that. We'll put that right up. So anyway, it is the Thursday edition. Hope you guys are having a great time. Again, nobody's telling me what they're doing for the weekend. I mean, I heard that one guy's, taking KC. One person's taking KC. Well, what's your Super Bowl predictions? Are you staying at home? Are you going? Rob did say that he was going to be at a restaurant. I'm sure most people are probably going to be staying home. What's your football party food? What is your football food? What is the one thing that has to be at your football tailgate party in your house, your indoor tailgate party? What is the one thing? Anything else could change, but the one thing you have to cook, or the one thing you must have if you go to somebody else's house, what is that one thing? Let me know in the comments below here on the live feed and also on the audio version. Before we get into today's Food Town, before we take a little trip, like I said, all you have to do is take a few steps, turn left, past the guy named Hank in a poncho, and we are going into Food Town. So we're going to take a little break, and a word from our sponsor, Body Armor, and we'll be right back.
The difference between imagining the future and being the future is what you do to get there. Only you can make it better.
Welcome back, everybody. Like I said before the break, why don't you join me? Like I said, take a few steps, turn left, past the guy named Hank in a poncho, and let's get into some Food Town. And I have to thank my friend Rob for helping me out with getting this name. And as you have entered into the Food Town. As you hear people in the background here, they're having a good time. And let's get right into it. Sips like a Coke, but finishes like a coffee. Long wait is over. Coca-Cola with coffee is originally available across the United States to give you a major caffeine boost. Not like that's not enough, because we all need that, right? The soda, which is making its official U.S. debut following a limited run for fans last summer, comes in 3 flavors: dark blend, vanilla, and caramel. You can also get Coca-Cola with coffee zero sugar in 2 flavors, dark blend and vanilla. No matter the food, each soda has 69 milligrams of caffeine per 12-ounce can, because that's what we're really interested here, right? I guess. For reference, that's roughly double what is in a 12-ounce can of Coke, which is 34 milligrams, and less than a standard cup of coffee, which is 95 milligrams. Oh, boy. Okay, for 8 ounces. And if you needed another reason to give it a try, you can get a free can of Coca-Cola with coffee by using the Ibotta app. It's IBOTTA at Walmart stores across the country. The brand announced the other day that it would be launching Coca-Cola with coffee in the United States. Coke has previously dipped its toes into coffee-type drinks before and currently sells Coca-Cola Plus coffee in 25 other countries. We first heard rumblings of this beverage coming to the U.S. back in 2019, and honestly, we have been dreaming of it ever since. If you can imagine Coca-Cola with a hint of coffee, well, that's pretty much what this is. It's two of your favorite drinks in one convenient package. Since I gave up coffee and I haven't drank a soda in God knows how long, I think I'll be passing on this. I'm not really sure but hey, if you guys do try it, let me know. Costco. Now, beginning of during COVID, Costco is known for its food courts and its stores, and they pretty much shut down all their seating, but they also took a lot of items off their menu. Just for the fact of lower business and whatnot. But Costco is bringing back this beloved item, so it's back to its food court menu. Months after announcing the closure of food courts and stores because of the coronavirus pandemic, Costco switched to takeout only, but now they have started reintroducing things onto the menu again. So say hello again to the Costco Chicken Bake. Oh boy, let me know if you like this. Yep, the chicken bake breast. The chicken breast, cheese, bacon, and Caesar dressing combo is back, according to an Instagram account called through Costco. It might not be exactly like you remember. They are different than the older version, but good. I found them a bit smaller with a little, and this one user said, I found them a bit larger with a different crust. He also noticed that the cashier said the snack is pre-made now, but that may not be the case for each food court. One person's comment on the post says that in Portland, Oregon, the item never left and tastes the same as always. So I guess it's obviously different in everywhere you go. Any of you coconut milk lovers out there? I'm a coconut milk lover. I'm an almond milk lover, but Target drops popular coconut milk after allegations of forced monkey labor. Monkeys don't like milk, man. I'm telling you. Sweatshops already. Really, Target, this coconut milk has got sweatshops. Costco and other major retailers have already dropped the brand following a PETA investigation. Don't screw with PETA. Seriously, don't screw with PETA. Target is the latest company to join other major retailers in dropping Chocoa. Chocoa? I think I pronounced that right. Chocoa. You know how I ruin names. Chaokoh. I'm not familiar with that actual particular coconut milk. It is taking its from the shelf following allegations of forced monkey labor. Back in October, Costco joined other retailers, including Walgreens, Food Lion, Giant Food, and Stop and Shop, in pulling the Thailand-based product after an investigation by PETA, saying that the monkeys were chained up and forced to do hard labor in the form of coconut picking. Are you serious? What? By dropping Choca, Target is joining thousands of stores that refuse to profit from the chained monkeys. Misery. This was stated by PETA Executive Vice President Tracy Ryman in a statement emailed to Today Food. PETA expose has confirmed that Thai coconut producers are exploiting monkeys and lying about it, so there's no excuse for any grocery store to keep the coconut brand on its shelves. PETA claimed its first investigation found cruelty to monkeys on every farm, at every monkey training facility. So now there's training facilities? Holy shnikes. And in every coconut picking contest, they use monkey labor. So now you're betting on, enough of dogfighting. Now we're doing monkey picking contests that are chained. Boy, where's Caesar when you need him? Watch out for Planet of the Apes. When not being forced to pick coconuts or perform in circus-style shows for tourists, the animals were kept tethered, changed to old tires, or confined to cages barely larger than their bodies. After a global outcry, the coconut industry claimed to have changed this practice, but PETA Asia's second investigators found producers still using monkey labor, and industry insiders discussing how farms concealed this practice by simply hiding monkeys until auditors leave, or by hiring contractors to bring the monkeys only during harvest time. Wow. Holy crap. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not. Yeah. Okay. I guess I'll have to watch out for coconut milk. So we have McDonald's in Food Town. There seems to be a lot of McDonald's, a lot of Taco Bells in our little town, and because they make the news for strange items. And the last time we talked about McDonald's, they were hitting the chicken war, obviously going against Chick-fil-A and Boston Chicken and Popeyes. Well, McDonald's might be giving you a birthday cake, but don't get too excited just yet. Raise your hand if you ever said the words, TikTok made me do it. I know I haven't, but I know a lot of people that say that they have. TikTok is to blame for tons of trends and challenges and tidbits of information we might not have been exposed to otherwise. I do report a lot on some TikTok trends. And now you can add McDonald's cakes to the running list. After a few TikTok videos surfaced showing people with cakes they claim to be purchased from the fast food chain, tons of people started wondering how do they get their hands on a McDonald's cake. And you can find this on YouTube or TikTok if you're a TikTok subscriber. The videos all depict a simple rectangular cake with white frosting and an edible printed image of characters from McDonald's restaurants or of Ronald McDonald, the once prevalent mascot and symbol of the restaurant. Nevertheless, this elusive cake has the internet talking and asking how they do. How can they get a cake? Now, would this be something you would want? I mean, I've pretty much given up on pretty much all fast food in the last 6 to 8 months. I did. You know what? We should have this. I should have put this in there. I do have a sad moment. My name is DW, and I'm a Taco Bell addict. I felt very ashamed about what I did a few weeks ago. I had 3 soft shell tacos and a meat burrito. Beefy meat burrito. I was so ashamed. I had eater's remorse. But anyway, I pretty much have given up on pretty much all fast food. Every now and then it comes in. But according to those who have made TikTok videos about the cakes, most locations only serve them if they also have a McDonald's play place attached to them. The bouncy house. Get a cake, bouncing the balls. I think that would be really awkward if I did that. I think the police would be called and I would be part of my own strange tales. It makes sense since the dessert is a birthday cake and kids have birthday parties at McDonald's at once upon a time, obviously pre-COVID. However, you might get lucky and find that your local McDonald's carries the cakes anyway. Unfortunately, there's only one flavor and option. You might want to call ahead before you wait in a potentially mile-long drive-through line. That's another thing. We'll get to it in a second. But you aren't likely to find it on any written menu for McDonald's, and you have to be willing to shell out $8 to $10 for the. That's not bad. $8 to $10 for a cake. I know I shelled out one in the summer that was way more than that. Obviously, it was a custom cake, but so getting back to that. So would you get a cake from McDonald's? I mean, it's only $8. It's only $8. I mean, I do kind of like their apple pies, but I haven't had one in years. But anyway, in the article it was saying about the mile-long lines since COVID. I have never seen lines through McDonald's, Taco Bell, Wendy's, KFC out the door. I get, actually, I don't get it. Maybe you don't want to go grocery shopping or whatever. So this puts me on the other side. Next time you decide to go to one of the chain restaurants, how about instead of take a left a few steps into Food Town and support one of your local restaurants, one of your local bars, instead of going to the chains. I've been adamant about this since we started. I pushed it very hard when COVID was hard. Every day, every week, I try to go 1 or 2 places a week, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I always try to support our local eateries and not do the chains. They can afford this. The small town, restaurants, the mom and pops, they can't afford to stay open during these hard times. And I know, sadly, some of them have closed down, unfortunately. But try to support them. I understand if you're in employment. I understand times are tough. There's a lot of people still in employment, no matter what state you're in. But think of it as the old days. My parents used to take me out to dinner on Fridays. Fridays was our night out with the family, and it was a treat to go somewhere. It wasn't every Friday thing. It was like twice a month. But we went local. We didn't go to McDonald's. We went to our local. I believe it was Abbott's in South Guns Falls. We used to go there every couple of Fridays. Massey's back in the day, another great local establishment. Abbott's is no longer around. But try to support your local eateries. We want them open. Don't you want to go to your favorite restaurant, bar, restaurant, sports bar, whatever, your local home spot after COVID's done and go back? And they'll do to go. If you're not comfortable going out into a restaurant, I understand that too. To go. I shouldn't say everybody. You know what? I will say everybody that I know around here is doing to go orders. So please try to stay away from the chains. And it's not even good for you. Stay off that. And so that is today's trip down to Food Town. I hope you like that new segment. Let me know what you think about the segments. the additions or whatnot. And like I said, if you guys have anything you would like to, and I know Al's a chef. Rob is a huge foodie and a liquor connoisseur. And yes, wings definitely at a football party. You always got to have wings. For me, what would be the mainstay? Swedish meatballs. Now I know not a lot of places do. Not a lot of. If I know, I'll even ask, do you have Swedish meatballs? No, then I'm bringing some because I make good Swedish meatballs. I do like Swedish meatballs and a good sub. You know, even if they're cut up in little quarters or whatnot, I do enjoy a great sub. So, you know, and that's my mainstays. But let me know. Have food being picked up from Texas Roadhouse and also making one of those nacho tablets. Oh, what is a nacho tablet? I don't even know what that is. You're going to Texas Roadhouse, Al. What did I just say? Come on. No, it's all good. I get it. I've never eaten at a Texas Roadhouse. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I've eaten there once. I had their chicken fried steak, and thank God this isn't a paid endorsement. I couldn't finish it. I just wasn't a fan. It was not a fan. I don't know. Maybe it was a bad day, but again, I've never really eaten there. So I'd like to know what a nacho tablet is. I really want to know what that is. Let me know what that is in the comments below, or reach out to me through a DM. I'd love to know that. And if any of you have any minestrone recipes out there, again, if you listen to the beginning of the show, the national holidays, it's National Homemade Soup Day. If you got any minestrone recipes out there, hit me up. I'd love to try it. I've yet to make one that I enjoy. My grandmother used to make one, but sadly, all her recipes passed away with her. It was like, no way. My French side and my Italian side, my Sicilian side grandmother, I don't have any idea how to make her sauce because it was not, well, for one, it was in her head. Any good Sicilian grandmother doesn't have anything written down. I mean, she had some other recipes written down, but she would never tell me how to make her sauce. I have yet to find a sauce that even comes close. Nobody's sauce is better than your grandmother's sauce. Let's put it that way. Or as we used to call it back in the day, gravy. But again, if you guys have any recipes or again, topics or anything you want us to hit me up in the mornings, the day before, a couple days. Oh, table. Gotcha. Nacho table, a whole table. Holy crap. All right, then. Are you having only just 10 friends over your house, Al? Better be a small table. I'm just kidding. But again, if you guys have any comments or topics you want me to talk about, and you think it would be interesting to talk about and discuss on the Today with DW segment, hit me up. Put it in if you're friends with me, hit me up through DMs, or again, go to earplugpodcast@gmail.com and send those links over. I want this show to be as much yours as mine. I hope you guys have been entertained. Hope you have a great weekend. I'm not sure if we'll be back tomorrow. It's just, everything is just wonky. My co-host Lewis Perry is having a tooth pulled tomorrow. So if he does come on, it might be funny to have him all doped up. I'd love to hear him talking and stuff like that. But let me so I will keep everybody informed. I apologize for having another rough week, but we'll definitely be we're working on something special possibly for Saturday. It might be a pre-Super Bowl podcast. We're not sure. We're trying to get times down because everybody's busy. But if not, we'll definitely be back see you next Tuesday. And we'll be back next Tuesday for the sports edition to do a Super Bowl countdown or not countdown, but recap. And some past Super Bowl trivia and cool little tidbits and information. And again, that's Tuesday, 6:30 to 7:30/8 o'clock. And I keep saying we're here Tuesday through Friday, but we're having some rough weeks here. It's tough. I need like an Indiegogo button. You want to donate? No, I'm just kidding. I don't need the money. It's not that. I need more people to help out. And again, I also put this out. I apologize too. Before I can never just end the show. If you want to be a guest on the show, if you live locally, or if not, hit me up through a DM. We can do it remotely. We are working on some guests as COVID is lightening up, so it's getting harder and harder for me to schedule. And I'd like to keep the show at 6:30 to 8, 6:30 to 7:30, not change it up too much. I really want to keep the schedule because you guys are used to it. Tuesday through Friday at 6:30. I'm sure and Rob was saying he looks forward to the show, oddly enough, while he's cooking. So he's pickling right now. So I hope this show got him through some pickling, and love to see the pictures soon and tell me how you did there, Rob. I'm sure there's going to be a video somewhat. We seem to be similar foodie Instagram pick takers. So But if you'd like to be a guest, hit me up. Again, at earplugpodcast@gmail.com, or for friends on Facebook, hit me up in a DM. And I'll put you on and we'll have a good time. Instead of being on that side, you could be on this side. So on that note, everybody, thank you so much for joining us on this joining me on this Thursday night edition of Today with DW. I hope you have a great day, and thank God it'll be Friday tomorrow.
This has been an Earplug Podcast presentation, found on earplugpodcast.com, iTunes, SoundCloud, and wherever your favorite podcasts are found.